Hey, Rabbi.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome. If you're new here, make sure you subscribe. And everybody, please like the video. We got a lot to get into today.
I went down to any lab test now yesterday, and I couldn't believe it. Went right in there. They put a little tiny thing, you didn't even feel it in my finger. Literally 10 minutes later, not a second more, they came back and said, "You're fine, negative, great." We went our way, and we just, not even worried. So
that $69 price is just for Steve Kane Show listeners. You got to mention that, and it's that little finger test. You get it real quick. I'll tell you, anytime somebody has any type of congestion,
oh man,
anxiety sets in.
I tell you,
them, but everybody around
there is a purge going on in our society by this government, and it's pretty outrageous.
Any lab test now of Boca and Coral Springs, they're good people, and we're very lucky to have them.
They're very caring and full of information.
First, we had a doctor recommendation from Dr. Mitch Matez. Now we have a rabbi. Rabbi recommended any lab test now of Boca, any lab test now of Coral Springs for your COVID testing. Yeah, that's great. Rabbi recommended any lab test now of Boca and any lab test now of Coral Springs. Rabbi recommended by Rabbi David for COVID testing. Rapid coronavirus testing at just $69.
Oh man, here we go.
On the radio. Any lab test now of Coral Springs is located on the southeast corner of University and Ramblewood near the Coral Square Mall. Their number 954.
Good morning, everyone.
983. Any lab test now of Boca is in the Sandalfoot Plaza where the Western Beef is. Their number 561-237-5009. Make sure you mention you heard them on the radio.
Seniors, Medicare open enrollment is quickly approaching. Make sure you get the right coverage. Call Debbie at I Will Advisors, 954-753-8080. 954-753-8080. The Steve Kane Show is brought to you by Attorney Barry Siegel at the...
All right, here we go, people.
Are you concerned with the distribution of your assets at the time of your passing? Avoid probate. Call the Siegel Law Group with 9 offices throughout South Florida, from Palm Beach Gardens to Coral Gables. Call toll-free 1-855-FLA-3782.
You are listening to South Florida's longest-running radio show, The Steve Kane Show. To call the show toll-free, dial 1-888-GO-KANE-1. That's 1-888-GO-KANE-1. And now, here's Steve.
All right, guys, welcome to the program. It is 4 minutes after the hour, Tuesday morning, September 28th, 2021. My name is Brian Craig. You are listening to the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest-running radio show on the radio since 1977, and what's going on in America today, this week, I literally mean today. I don't mean like these times. I'm talking about today, this week, is something I never thought that I would see happen in this country. We're seeing a new type of segregation take place. We are seeing a purge from all levels of not just our government, but public life like we've never seen before. And it's a terrible time. Now, in the end, this is America, and America will survive. I know as a conservative I'm supposed to say, we'll have no country left. It's going to be a rough 3 years. And the next 3 years are going to be some of the most difficult that we've ever had, okay, because of what's going on in this country. With that being said, America's been through a lot before and always survives, especially when we have President Trump running in 2024. So I'm not going to sit here and, it's over, come on. If it's over, why are we, doing spots and living our lives and going to work? It's not over. It's just going to be rough. It's going to be very rough, very difficult. A lot of injustice and civil liberty violations will be going on, and we're going to talk about quite a few of them here on the program today. The first one I want to talk about is Lieutenant Colonel Stuart Scheller, who right now as we speak is sitting in a Marine Corps naval brig. Now, I know, it's complete insanity. Now, he's the Marine Lieutenant Colonel who spoke out against the Afghan withdrawal. He did it, if my memory serves, he did it after the attack at the airport that left 13 Marines dead. That started all this. But let me read this article just to update everyone on what's going on. Fox News, this is all over the news, but Marine Lieutenant Colonel Stuart Scheller, the officer who went viral for blasting the military's leadership amid the chaotic withdrawal from Afghanistan, has been sent to the BRIG. His father, Stu Scheller, spoke out and said, "All our son did is ask the questions that everyone was asking themselves, but they were too scared to speak out loud. He was asking for accountability. In fact, I think he even asked for an apology that we made mistakes, but they couldn't do that, which is mind-blowing." Lieutenant Colonel Scheller first rose to internet stardom by posting a video to Facebook, which I'll be playing in a bit. This is really frightening. Blasting military leaders, that would be General Milli Vanilli, for the U.S. withdrawal from Afghanistan, questioning their command decisions on the events leading up to and during the final evacuation effort. Lieutenant Colonel Scheller would go on to release several more videos, generating praise and controversy, while drawing the ire of military leadership. Eventually, he was told by his superiors to stop posting to social media altogether, an order he immediately ignored by posting about the gag order. He said this: "What happens when all you do is speak truth and no one wants to hear it? But they can probably stop listening because I'm crazy, right?" Scheller wrote at the end of a post. He's currently in pre-trial confinement. The time, date, and location of the proceedings have not been determined. Okay, I'll play his audio in a moment, but what happened in Afghanistan was appalling. There's a human rights abuse going on against everyone in Afghanistan. Women, anyone in Afghanistan right now is suffering human rights abuses, on top of the fact that there's an unknown number of U.S. citizens that are being held hostage by the Taliban in Afghanistan right now as we speak, that's been forgotten from the media narrative. Move along here, new news cycle. Yeah, I know. When Lieutenant Colonel Vindman not just spoke out against his commander-in-chief, Donald Trump, but put a process in motion that led to an impeachment trial and hearings, he was there in uniform being praised. They were trying to give this guy medals. He wasn't put in the BRIG. He was allowed to resign his commission, which he did, but he wasn't put in the BRIG Vindman. But this guy is. Both lieutenant colonels. You know, I remember when another Lieutenant Colonel, Oliver North, testified in front of Congress during the Senate hearings during Iran-Contra. And I can't remember his name. Anybody remember the name of the senior senator from Hawaii, Democrat, jerk, who was quoting Nuremberg laws about not following, you're not obligated and you were not to follow illegal orders? You know, remember all that talk? What happened in Afghanistan, Joe Biden is incompetent and corrupt. Okay, we talk about this a lot, but I believe what happened in Afghanistan is he was dealing with, there's corruption because of the lithium deposits. Remember, Afghanistan has the largest lithium deposits in the world, which is a necessary component to the electric cars, okay, for the batteries. And this was not known in Afghanistan prior to the United States taking over there, because we did a geological survey of the country. They have a lot of natural resources, but the largest lithium deposits in the world. And now China has control of them. So there is definitely that aspect of Trump, or of Biden disregarding the Trump plan in Afghanistan and giving Afghanistan to China so they could get those lithium deposits. But there was also, I believe personally, a insecurity about his mental well-being, and he had to prove to everyone that he wears the big man pants, and he went against even this corrupt General Milley and pulled all the troops out so he could show everybody he's the boss. Well, we know who the boss is now, huh? Right. Idiot. And so Colonel Scheller, he's in a brig right now. Here you got General Milley, who, according to liberals, Bob Woodward, seized control of the U.S. nuclear arsenal, which he had no authority over, and was seized control of the military from the commander-in-chief, nullifying the nuclear football, and he's still walking around like he's king of the world. Why isn't Milley in the brig? For not just insubordination, but outright treason, conspiring with other government leaders, Nancy Pelosi and other department heads, in what was a successful coup of the final weeks of the Trump presidency's first term by seizing control of the nuclear football. Why isn't Milley in the brig? Why is Colonel Scheller in the brig? If Scheller's in the brig, Milley certainly should be in the brig. And what we know about Milley is coming from Democrats, Bob Woodward. And in fact, not one Democrat has disputed any of it. Came from a transcript of the phone conversation between Milley and Pelosi that Bob Woodward obtained. Why isn't Milley in the brig? He seized control, and then he goes to the nuclear command officers and has them swear an oath of allegiance to him. It's in the book. But Scheller's in the brig? I was telling you guys yesterday, I'm a little concerned about that Lance Corporal who rescued the baby, who came up on stage with President Trump at the rally. There's a purge going on, not just of this, but there's a mass purge, which I'm going to get into later, of the entire military. There's a major military purge that is in the process of taking place right now. We're going to get into that later in the program after we finish up with the Lieutenant Colonel. But I want to take our first break, and when we get back from our first break, I'm going to play you the audio from the video that got the Lieutenant Colonel in so much trouble. But first, I want to tell you guys about an incredible new special at MyPillow.com from the great MAGA man himself, the Thomas Edison of sleep, Mike Lindell. I was talking to Mike Lindell's office yesterday. I talk to them at least once a week. And they told me about this new special that they want us to share with you. This is incredible. This is incredible. Now, this special is available to you when you use our promo code KANE at checkout, KANE. MyPillow has two types of MyPillow mattresses. They have a coil mattress and a foam mattress. Listen to this. Now this special is both for the coil and the MyPillow foam mattress. When you use our promo code KANE at checkout, save 30% off the MyPillow coil mattress and the MyPillow foam mattress. But listen to this. Not only do you save 30% off when you use our promo code KANE at checkout, KANE, on either mattress system that they have, you also receive 2 free MyPillows come with it, and a set of 100% Giza cotton MyPillow Dream Sheets. It's an incredible deal. The MyPillow mattress comes with a 10-year warranty, a 6-month money-back guarantee if you're not happy with it, but how could that be? Free shipping except in Hawaii, Alaska, or the U.S. territories like Guam and Puerto Rico, okay? Free shipping, oh my goodness. So 30% off, 2 free MyPillows. That's amazing. That is absolutely amazing. A set of free 100% Giza cotton MyPillow Dream Sheets and free shipping. Now this goes for both, and a 10-year warranty, 6-month money-back guarantee, and that free shipping is amazing. And again, this is for both the coil or the foam mattress. Comes in twin, twin XL, full, queen, king, California king, split king. This is absolutely amazing. And of course, You can choose, with this offer, you can choose the types of sheets you get. You can either get the regular sheets, the flannel sheets. You can get a solid color, a striped color, any color you want, flannel or regular. You can choose the fill level of your My Pillows. I choose the full, the most fill I can get in my Pillows, but you can choose any you want. That is an incredible deal, again, on both the coil and the foam mattress. Now, again, here's the special. With our promo code KANE, K-A-N-E, at checkout. It's amazing. 30% off either My Pillow mattress, coil or foam, 2 free My Pillows, a set of free 100% Giza Cotton Dream Sheets, and free shipping. But you've got to use our promo code KANE at checkout, K-A-N-E. You can also order by phone, 1-800-716-4879. 1-800-716-4879, and also 0% financing on all My Pillow orders, no matter what you're ordering, on orders over $50. Can't beat that. 0% financing on all orders over $50. Great deal. Support MAGA Man himself, Mike Lindell. Support the Steve Kane Show as well. All right, let's take that break. We'll be back. Don't go anywhere.
If you suffer with diabetes, did you know there's a 25% chance
I know, it's a pretty good deal.
of a foot ulcer at some point in your life? And foot ulcers, when you have diabetes, can lead to severe health consequences, up to and including...
Steve Van Heist, $5 super chat. Thank you, thank you. You are awesome, Brian. Well, thank you, Steve. You are awesome, too. Thank you for that super chat.
Those of you who are at-risk patients, I want to introduce you to my good friends at the Soul Authority. At the Soul Authority, at little or no cost, you can receive your very own...
This guy means well, but he's kind of a Fox News normie Republican. I don't know what that means, but I'm no fan of Fox News. If you listen to the show for more than 10 seconds, you'll learn that.
Of high-quality diabetic shoes with 3 custom inserts per year. These are not the ugly Frankenstein shoes. These are name-brand shoes. They're stylish. They'll provide you with the extra width and extra depth to stop diabetic foot problems before they begin. Oftentimes, amputation due to diabetes is preventable, and one of the preventable measures that is most effective is wearing the proper shoes. Call the Soul Authority at 954-597-7060.
I know. Scary times we're in, people. Scary times.
SoulAuthority.com. That's THESOLE authority.com. Tell them Steve Kane sent you.
Traveling and need a COVID test? Maybe you need a COVID test for work or school. Stop by Any Lab Test Now of Boca or Any Lab Test Now of Coral Springs. They offer all the COVID testing panels you need at the lowest prices, including the antibody test. Results in 15 minutes. Any Lab Test Now of Boca is located in the Sandalfoot Plaza, where Western Beef is, south of Palmetto Park Road and north of Hillsboro on the east side of 441 State Road 7. Call 561-237-5009. Any Lab Test Now of Coral Springs is located on the southeast corner of University Drive in Ramblewood, near the Coral Square Mall in Coral Springs. Call 954-906-5983. Make sure to tell them you heard about them on the Steve Kane Show. Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio.
All right, welcome back. 19 minutes after the hour, I'm Brian Craig. This is the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest running radio show on the radio since 1977. Oh, man. All right, now I want to get right to the audio. Just let me recap for people that are just tuning in, getting in their cars, heading to work, just waking up and turning on the radio. The Lieutenant Colonel Scheller, who spoke out against the disastrous withdrawal from Afghanistan, has been arrested. He is sitting in a naval brig awaiting trial for some unspecified charges. We're not exactly sure yet. And this is a terrible thing going on. There is a major purge going on of the military, and he is only the first well-known person to be purged. There's more, which we'll get into later in the program. Now, Lieutenant Colonel Stuart Scheller made a video that... Now, I'm going to play the audio. I've not listened to this in a while, but my recollection is he made this video right after the attack at the airport that left 13 American Marines dead. And that's what drove him to do this. So let's play the audio. This is the audio that has him in the brig. Now, keep in mind, General Milley committed treason against the commander-in-chief, led a military coup that he conspired with the Speaker of the House to do, and was successful at it, seizing control of the military, including the nuclear arsenal, conspiring with the Chinese while he was doing it. Also told them he would tip them off to any future military action that they might want to know about, which is treasonous in itself. Lieutenant Colonel Vindman, of course, committed incredible amounts of treason and insubordination against the Commander-in-Chief, Donald Trump, but Lieutenant Colonel Scheller, he's the one in the BRIG. So here's the video that started it all.
My name is Lieutenant Colonel Stuart Scheller, United States Marine Corps. I'm the current battalion commander for Advanced Infantry Training Battalion. I've been in the Marine Infantry for 17 years. Started my tour with Victor 1-8. It's the current unit that's doing perimeter security, dealing with the mess that's going on there. You can see open source reporting that there was an explosion and some people were killed. I know through my inside channels that one of those people that were killed was someone that I have a personal relationship with. Won't go into more details because the families are still being notified. Not making this video because it's potentially an emotional time. Making it because I have a growing discontent and contempt for my perceived ineptitude at the foreign policy level, and I want to specifically ask some questions to some of my senior leaders. And I'll say, as a person that's not at 20 years, I feel like I have a lot to lose. If you play chess, you can only see 2 to 3 moves out because there's too many variables. I thought through if I post this video, what might happen to me, especially if the video picks up traction, if I have the courage to post it. But I think what you believe in can only be defined by what you're willing to risk. So if I'm willing to risk my current battalion commander seat, my retirement, my family's stability, to say some of the things that I want to say, I think it gives me some moral high ground to demand the same honesty, integrity, accountability from my senior leaders. And so I want to start with, we'll just use the Marine Corps. We'll just stick with the Marine Corps. So in the current fallout of Afghanistan, a lot of Marines were posting on social media, and in response to that, the Commandant published a letter, which is the service chief of the Marine Corps. And I'm going to read from it. It was dated 18 August, so only a week ago. The Commandant, sir, you wrote, "Some of you may be struggling with a simple question. Was it all worth it? We want you to know that your service is meaningful, powerful, and important. You fought for the Marine to your left and the Marine to your right. You never let them down." And then you go on to say that if we're struggling, we should seek counseling. Which I get it. People have killed people. I've killed people, and I seek counseling, and that's fine. There's a time and place for that. But the reason people are so upset on social media right now is not because the Marine on the battlefield let someone down. That service member has always rose to the occasion and done extraordinary things. People are upset because their senior leaders let them down, and none of them are raising their hands and accepting accountability or saying, we messed this up. If an 05 battalion commander has the simplest live fire incident EO complaint, boom, fired. But we have a Secretary of Defense that testified to Congress in May that the Afghan National Security Force could withstand the Taliban advance. We have chairmen of Joint Chief, who the Commandant is a member of that, who's supposed to advise on military policy. We have a Marine combatant commander. All of these people are supposed to advise, and I'm not saying we've got to be in Afghanistan forever, but I am saying, did any of you throw your rank on the table and say, hey, it's a bad idea to evacuate Bagram Airfield, the strategic air base, before we evacuate everyone? Did anyone do that? And when you didn't think to do that, did anyone raise their hand and say, we completely messed this up? I've got battalion commander friends right now that are posting similar things, and they're saying, wondering if all the lives were lost and if it was in vain, all those people that we've lost over the last 20 years. And he goes on to say that we're all part of a chain. While every link may not be tested, the strength of the chain is only as strong as each link, and you got to be, good link, something like that. And what I'll say is, and from my position, potentially all those people did die in vain if we don't have senior leaders that own up and raise their hand and say, we did not do this well in the end. Without that, we just keep repeating the same mistakes, this amalgamation of the economic / corporate / political / higher military ranks are not holding up their end of the bargain. I want to say this very strongly. I have been fighting for 17 years. I am willing to throw it all away to say to my senior leaders, I demand accountability.
Wow, there he is. Now he's in the brig for that video. Now you compare that. You compare that to what General Milley did. Conspiring with Pelosi, seizing control of our nuclear arsenal, conspiring to forbid the commander-in-chief from using military action, seizing control illegally of the military, and what Vindman did with that phone call. You compare that to this. You compare those actions to this. Why is this guy in the brig? Because he's viewed as MAGA. He's viewed as conservative. See, it's only okay to break the chain of command and military ranks and rules and regulations if you're attacking Trump, because that's justified. Are you kidding me? You know, Major Nadal Hassan, who is in prison for the Fort Hood attack, he was a captain in the Army and gave an anti-American speech, hardcore like you wouldn't believe, during the Obama years. And he was reported by other officers. And you know what the Obama military did? They promoted him to major and transferred him to Fort Hood after he received a promotion to major, after he went on a rant against the United States and U.S. military policy that had him being reported to higher-ups by other officers in the room, and they promoted him. But Lieutenant Colonel Scheller, he's in the brig. He's going to lose everything. He's going to lose everything. He's going to be stripped of his rank. He's going to be dishonorably discharged, and he'll probably go to jail. Meanwhile, Vindman has some scam book deal going. He's on a book tour and is traveling around. And Milley, who seized control of the military, conspired in a coup against Commander-in-Chief President Trump, he's still chairman of the Joint Chiefs, and like nothing ever happened. I want to hear your thoughts on this. And there's a huge military purge about to take place I'm going to get into after the break. I want to hear from you and your thoughts on this. At 1-888-GO-CANE-1. Should he be in the brig? If you think he should be in the brig, why isn't Milley in the brig? Why didn't Vindman get locked up in the brig? Our number, toll-free, 1-888-GO-CANE-1. That's K-A-N-E and the number 1. 888-465-2631. I want to tell you guys about my anti-aging doctor, Dr. Mitch Matez of the Bio Station in Delray. He's my hormone replacement anti-aging doctor and has been, well, for 5 years, because I first went to Dr. Matez for hormone replacement pellet therapy when I turned 45. I am now, you're not going to hear me say this very often, unless I'm doing the spot here for Dr. Matez, and then even then I won't say it too much, but I'm 50 years old now. And I've been a patient of Dr. Matez for 5 years. In 2005, Dr. Matez introduced hormone replacement pellet therapy to South Florida. He was the first doctor to do it here in South Florida. It's amazing. It's absolutely amazing. Now, hormone replacement pellets, what are they? What do they do? They're tiny little pellets, about the size of a grain of rice before you add water to it, and they're inserted in the back hip area, completely painless. Dr. Matez is a maestro at that. They restore your hormone levels to where they were in your 20s. Part of the aging process is your hormone levels are reduced, and hormone replacement pellet therapy is 100% all natural and just restores your hormones to where they were when you were in your 20s. And I feel better than I did when I was in my 20s, because when you're in your 20s, you don't sleep right, you don't eat right, and you're partying, right? At least I was. And I take much better care of myself, and I don't drink unless I'm on our cruises when I get carried away. But other than that, that's once a year. I don't drink, I take good care of myself. I feel better now than when I was in my 20s. Hormone replacement pellet therapy in both men and women will increase and restore your sex drive and performance, increase your energy level, like, amazingly. My energy, I go all day, all night. I'm always going. If you want to look and feel like you did when you were young, call Dr. Matez over at the biostation. In women, it's absolutely amazing what it does. The signs and symptoms of menopause in women completely reversed. Mood swings gone. Night sweats gone. Vaginal dryness gone. Reversed. In women, your sex drive is restored as well. Now, both men and women, this is a very important thing. If you're suffering from hair loss, hormone replacement pellet therapy will also stop hair loss in its tracks, and the hair that you have left will grow back thicker and fuller. It's absolutely amazing, and it's a free consultation if you mention you heard them on the Steve Kane Show. Everyone else has to pay for this consultation, but listeners of the Steve Kane Show, completely free consultation with Dr. Mitch Matez at the biostation. Here's the number, 561-320-8893. 561-320-8893. Dr. Matez at the biostation. Talk to him about hormone replacement pellet therapy. All right, if you're on hold, stand by. We'll break and be right back.
Hi, my name is Tom Laporta, the owner of Laporta.
Jacqueline Wilson, $100 super chat. Oh my goodness. Thank you, Jacqueline. Thank you. And everyone, please thank Jacqueline for that very, very generous super chat. Oh my goodness. Thank you so much. Everyone, thank Jacqueline for that.
21 hurricane season is upon us. If you have noticed any water stains on your side, or if your roof is older than 50
absolutely
years,
amazing. Thank you so much.
To come out and evaluate your roof. Our services run from minor repairs to complete new roof systems. We install every kind of roof,
Steve Kane Show.
regular asphalt shingles, clay or concrete tiles.
Hold on. Steve Kane Show. Hold on.
Shakes,
Steve Kane Show.
What's
your name? Hold on.
Call us at 954-604-4602 for a free home inspection and estimate. Again, that number is 954-604-4602.
Seniors, Medicare open enrollment is quickly approaching. Make sure you get the right coverage. Call Debbie at I Will Advisors, 954-753-8080. 954-753-8080. The Steve Kane Show is brought to you by attorney Barry Siegel at the Siegel Law Group. Are you concerned with the distribution of your assets at the time of your passing? Avoid probate. Call the Siegel Law Group with 9 offices throughout South Florida, from Palm Beach Gardens to Coral Gables. Call toll-free 1-855.
Well, thank you everyone for thanking Jacqueline for that very generous super chat. All right, we're coming back now.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio.
All right, we are back 33 minutes after the hour. This is the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest-running radio show on the radio since 1977. We'll go right to our phones. If you're just tuning in, Lieutenant Colonel has been put in the brig. Lieutenant Colonel Stuart Scheller. Lieutenant Colonel Stuart Scheller is in the brig for criticizing the Afghan withdrawal. Meanwhile, General Milley, who seized control of the military and our nuclear arsenal from the Commander-in-Chief, he's being commended and congratulated by the Democrats and the media. All right, let's go to the phones. Your thoughts on this? Good morning.
Hey, good morning, Brian. It's Scott in Kiev.
Hey, Scott in Kiev. What's up?
So, you talked about a couple of different things. First, the Lance Corporal that attended the Trump rally, I think he'll be okay because he wasn't in uniform. He didn't make a political speech on behalf of the military. And don't forget, Trump hasn't declared candidacy yet, so I don't know if he would consider that a political rally even. So I think he'll be okay.
I hope so. I hope. The only reason I bring it up is I want people to think about him in case something does happen. You know what I mean? Sometimes you got to put a spotlight on something to stop it from happening.
Well, so I'll tell you this. The Marines will use him as the poster child. You know, when he was taking that child over the fence, they'll use that as a recruitment tool. Back in 2004, Time Magazine made the American Soldier the Person of the Year. Those 3 soldiers that were put on that cover got taken out of Iraq and got sent on photo ops and interviews all around the world.
Well, let's hope. Let's hope everything's good for him and he's a sergeant soon enough. Gets corporal and then sergeant. Now back to Lieutenant Colonel Stuart Scheller. Why is he in the brig, but the coup leader, Milley, he's being celebrated?
So there's a couple different things there. So what I read on the article about the Lieutenant Colonel, he got put in the brig because he defied a gag order, right?
They're a little vague about why he's in there. We've not gotten an official charge released. There's been speculation and some quotes from people, but we haven't gotten an official charge yet. He's waiting for, they say, an Article 32 hearing. I'm not exactly sure what that is. I've seen JAG a few times, but I guess it's kind of like a preliminary hearing, like a bond hearing type thing.
So Article 32 is part of the Uniform Code of Military Justice. Article 32 is a general article, and that's what's covered, like speaking out against your...
We'll find out.
And so what I read was he was awaiting this hearing, but the judge put a gag order on him, and I guess he posted on Facebook this weekend, and so he decided that gag order. That's why he got...
Well, I don't know. I know Lieutenant Colonel Vindman undermined the Commander-in-Chief and conspired with others to try to remove a Commander-in-Chief from office, Donald Trump. And he wasn't put in the brig. He's separated from the military, retired with full benefits, gave him a book deal, which I'm sure there was a big cash advantage to that, and he's taken care of for life, like a Publishers Clearinghouse winner. This is political. Let's be honest here. Be honest with yourself. This is political.
Oh, absolutely it is. At the end of the day, though, so this lieutenant colonel, he's facing UC&J, which is non-judicial. It's not civil punishment, so he probably won't get sent to jail.
I wouldn't be so sure about that. Don't be so sure that they're done throwing charges at him.
I mean, what has he done on the civil side to violate that? I mean, here's the bad thing. A lot of people don't understand. When you join the military, you signed the contract to agree by UC&J.
We understand. We understand. Listen, everybody understands these things, okay? But there's a problem here. We have a chairman of the Joint Chiefs, who's the current chairman of the Joint Chiefs, who conspired with other government officials in a coup, which I believe was successful, seizing military control from Commander-in-Chief President Trump. He's being celebrated. Lieutenant Colonel Vindman did much more than Lieutenant Colonel Scheller here did, and he's being script of a phone conversation between Nancy Pelosi and Milley. And on top of that, both of them have publicly confirmed it.
So in this case, Milley went outside the chain of command and could have committed civil penalties, and so that should be...
Oh, I think he did more than civil penalties. He was involved in a coup of the military. He seized control of the nuclear arsenal. He's not even in the chain of command. He called the officers there was a one-star general and some colonels and others in, and had them swear allegiance to him, even though he wasn't in the chain of command. This has all been confirmed by himself.
The bad part is who in the military is going to investigate that? Because who outranks him?
Well, he's out. That's not. No, he doesn't. He's outranked by people. He's outranked by people. You got a defense secretary. You've got a president. There's others. No, there's an inspector general.
But do you think either one of them will initiate an investigation?
The Military Criminal Investigation Division is separate from the military chain of command for this very purpose? No, but the reason Vindman and Milley aren't in trouble is simple. They committed treason against President Trump. And Lieutenant Colonel Scheller, it might be insubordination, a minor jaywalking offense compared to what those two did. He did it against a Democrat, and that his crime is for being critical of a Democrat.
It is, and I think the bad thing about Colonel Scheller is he did it in uniform, and he did it across this social media platform. So
really? Milley wasn't it? What about when Milley made that video after President Trump went to the church? He made a video condemning the Commander-in-Chief. He was in uniform in that video, General Milley.
So my concern is, and I'll tell you this from experience, my concern is during the Trump era in the military, it was widespread. People that all throughout the ranks said stuff against Trump, and people turned a blind eye to it. Small group leaders and stuff said stuff. It's like they were trying to one-up each other. But now that we have Democrats in office, now all of a sudden everybody wants you to abide by UC&J again.
When it's convenient. That's correct.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and so don't get me wrong. I know this is political persecution. I was just trying to explain, I don't think...
we know. Everybody knows the basics of that. I mean, we live in America. We've grown up in America. We understand. JAG was on for 10 years. We know. Everybody everybody knows the basics, okay? When somebody's in the military, they can't be opinionated and all that, but that hasn't been the case. That hasn't been the case. And what Milley and Vindman did was high treason. And what Stuart Scheller did is jaywalking in comparison to that. All right, Scott and Kiev, take care. Thanks for the call. Our number 1-888-GO-KANE-1. Now, that is not the only person in the military. An unspecified number of U.S. military personnel from every branch of the service are about to be purged because they are sergeant on TikTok.
All right, TikTok, we need your help. So a lot of the military is about to take an administrative discharge for not taking the vaccine. I know some people are doing it for medical reasons, some people are doing it for personal reasons, beliefs, whatever it may be, it's about to suck. An administrative discharge is not necessarily honorable, but it's not dishonorable. It just means that most of our military service was good, we just failed to comply with an order. So not taking the vaccine is a direct order. So with that being said, what I'm looking for right now is if you're an employer or if you know employers that will undoubtedly employ us, a lot of us are looking at discharge and we weren't expecting this, so we have no idea what to plan for, and I'm sure a lot of people are trying to plan for their future right now. So if y'all can help us out, if you guys, like I said, if you're an employer or you know an employer that'll undoubtedly help us out, hire us, whatever it may be, if you can put it in the comments, message me. I'm trying to get as much information for my brothers and sisters and myself as possible. Thank you guys.
Okay, so here we have, I think she's either Air Force or Army, I can't remember. I'm not looking at the video right now. I'll check in a minute. I did tweet it this morning so you can watch the video. So she's a young sergeant. She's about to get a general discharge. And I looked up what happens when you get she's Air Force, okay? Or she could be Space Force. It's hard to tell if she's Space Force or Air Force. But the stripes are up, so she's either Space Force or Air Force. I can't tell, can't see the whole uniform. Okay, how many military members are going to get a general discharge because they will not get vaccinated? The answer to that, we don't know. We don't know. But it could be a lot. This is going to, and you know what I wonder about this is what would this do to military readiness? What level, what jobs do these people have? Every job in the military is vital to keep the military going. They don't have unnecessary workers and things in the military. But I wouldn't be so sure. It's going to be people at all levels and in all positions and in all branches. This is going to be a massive military purge. Now, a general discharge, I looked up a little bit this morning about the differences between, general and other types of discharges. With a general discharge is certainly not an honorable discharge, but it's not dishonorable. They are entitled to veterans benefits, but they do not get the GI Bill. So if these are people who enlisted in the military for the GI Bill, that's gone. That's gone. They're not going to get that benefit for their service now. No matter how long they've been in the service, that's gone. They're out, even if they've re-upped. I know. I don't know. I don't know what other veterans benefits they are not entitled to. I don't know if they're entitled to VA loans. I don't know. But I do know this, that for the rest of their lives, on every application, they're going to have to put down that they were not honorably discharged from the military. That's going to follow them for the rest of their lives. And it's unknown how many this will be. This could cause a national security crisis. I know the coven over on The View, and if you don't get that reference, Google what a coven is, and you'll get a chuckle. The coven over on The View have been very impressed with themselves that they had a national security issue with the COVID test on Friday because the vice president was there. And you can make a case for that. But when there are going to be tens of thousands, maybe over 100,000, the number is unknown, of U.S. military personnel being discharged from the service because they're not vaccinated, you're telling me that is not a national security risk? Are we going to have enough soldiers to do the job? Are we going to have enough airmen and sailors to do the job? If you went to an aircraft carrier with over 5,000 personnel on it, how many on that carrier are going to be discharged? Are we going to have to bring ships into port and dock them because we don't have enough sailors to sail them? Or don't have enough mechanics to maintain an air wing? Or maybe we don't have enough pilots. I don't know. Have they thought this through? There is a purge of our military taking place as we speak. Oh, yeah. And huge unemployment. I wonder, will this affect pensions from people in the service? I don't know. This is a purge like we've never seen in the United States military before. It's about to take place. It's in the process of taking place right now. Are they going to do it all at once? Are they going to do it in steps to protect military readiness? There's no way they could do it in steps to protect military readiness. They say they're out, they're out. It doesn't matter if they take a year to do it. They're not going to be able to train new military personnel in all of these jobs. Not only do you lose the personnel, you lose their skills and their experience. We've just turned Afghanistan over to terrorists. China is on the move, and Biden is ordering a military purge of unvaccinated service personnel that are going to put our military in danger of not being able to maintain readiness. This is complete insanity. Complete insanity. Our number toll free 1-888-GO-CANE1. 888-465-2631. It's insanity. We'll take a break and be back.
Brian Craig here. Conservative Doug called me up live on the air to tell me about his experience at Friendly Tire.
I had two ball ties in the back of my Infiniti. I called them up and I feel like we always check prices first. Half the price of everybody else.
Half the price?
And
half the price at Friendly Tire. Wow.
Half the price. And not only that, his tires, which nobody, the tires I was looking at, had any mileage guarantee. That is 16.
Now, listen, guys. I am, you might have to refresh in a minute. I've got to turn Do Not Disturb on my iPhone here. That's why the feed cut out a couple times. I'm getting text messages from people. So I'm going to minimize the screen, turn on the Do Not Disturb. If I lose you, come right back and refresh, all right?
Friendly Mike at Friendly Tire, a call. His number 954-977-9445. He'll give you a quote right over the phone. 954-977-9445. Online, friendlytire.net, or you can just stop right in. The address is listed at stevekaneshow.com. 5415 Northwest 15th Street in Margate, and that's just a little north of Coconut Creek Parkway on the east side of 441 State Road 7. Well, Conservative Doug, thanks so much, and I'm glad you got such a great deal on your tires at Friendly Tire in Margate. It's here, the hot weather. It's in the mid-90s in the middle of the day, and that's what the actual temperature is. The heat index, much higher than that.
If you're new, make sure you subscribe.
It's going to work harder and harder driving up your electric bill. And on the line, we have Scott from Cut My Kilowatts, who's going to save you big, big money on your electric bill. Tell them how you're going to do it, Scott.
Hey, Brian. Well, we do it with the radiant barrier installation and making sure that none of your air conditioning ducts are leaking into your attic. But I have Rebecca on the line with me, who's a longtime Steve Kane listener, and we had the pleasure of going up and doing a whole attic package for her at her house on Wednesday of this week, and we put all new ducts in for radiant barrier and all new insulation, and she just wants to tell you how her experience was.
Good morning. I wanted to let you know that this morning, first of all, the people that came out, his crew were very, very polite.
Don't make the burden heavier on them. My default position is to ask people, please do this. This is why it's been proven to be safe. The vaccine's been out there a long time now.
I'm in the construction architect, so I'm familiar with what the cost should be and how much time it takes to do everything.
Wow.
And let me tell you, I was very impressed, and my attic looks like a spaceship up there with all new ducts. They took out the metal duct that was insulated and leaking on my ceiling, and they put in flex duct, which is what we use now in the industry. But let me tell you, what I paid for the entire package should have cost just to remove the old ductwork and install new ductwork, and I got everything for less than what I thought.
Well, that's amazing. And when Scott from Cut My Kilowatts brings that radiant barrier into your attic, it pays for itself, because what it does, it cools off your ceiling, cools off your attic, keeps that hot Florida heat that's well over 100 degrees in your attic off of your air conditioning ducts, which means your air conditioner works less to keep your house cool and comfortable for you, which means you have lower electrical bills. It works. Listen, guys, give Scott at Cut My Kilowatts a call. His number's listed at SteveKaneShow.com, as is his website if you miss it. His number, which rings directly to him, 954-939-1500. 954-939-1500. That's Scott from Cut My Kilowatts.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search for it.
All right, hey guys, we're back. Oh, can you say hey guys anymore? Is that too gender specific? Oh man, I bet the Muppets are in trouble. Hey you guys. Oh, that was Electric Company. I don't remember. Anyway, welcome back everyone. It's 7 before 7. I'm Brian Craig. This is the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest running radio show. Okay, now when this pandemic started early last year and government started closing down, it was a scary time. I'll tell you, it was a scary time. I was scared, you were scared, we were all scared. We didn't know what was going on. But even then I told you that in particular these governors, the local governments, but in particular these governors are never, the Democrats governors are never going to give you your freedoms back. They enjoy it too much. Democrats always want government overreach, government power, and now they've got an excuse and they're not going to give it back. And New York's got a problem. They got rid of Governor Cuomo, and now they got this lady governor up there who's got to prove that she's a strong leader, just like the governor of Michigan had to do. And a lot of times, this is something that's mostly true with women that are Democrats. You don't see this so much in conservative circles like Marjorie Taylor Greene and Sarah Palin and great conservative women like that. You see this mostly with liberal women. Liberal Democrat women in government have to prove to everyone that they can run things. So they go out and they try to act all tough. They try to act like a man. Problem is, all the men around them are liberals, and liberal men aren't very manly. So the examples that they're trying to imitate are really sad examples. So this new lady governor in New York has denied religious exemptions for people that are not getting vaccinated. And there are people that don't want to get vaccinated on a religious exemption. She says that religious exemptions are not legitimate. She says this. This is the new governor of New York, the lady governor of New York, who has broken 2 records. Not only is she the first female governor of New York, but I believe she's probably the shortest governor in the history of New York. She says this: religious exemptions are not legitimate. Listen to this. These are not legitimate religious exemptions because the leaders of all the organized religions have said there's no legitimate reason. That's her quote. She says these are not legitimate. New word I like. Legitimate. That should be a word. She says, there are not legitimate religious exemptions because the leaders of all the organized religions have said there's no legitimate reason. That's a quote from the lady governor in New York. Oh, this is very interesting. She's a very well-connected governor. She has spoken to God. She has spoken to Jesus. She has spoken to Muhammad, Elijah, Moses. Who's the founder of the Mormons? Smith. What other religious leaders am I leaving out? Those are the religious leaders, okay? The religious leaders is not some liberal guy who runs a church in New York who claims to be the leader of the Christians. You know, I love Cardinal Dolan in New York. He's not the leader of Christianity, of Catholicism. Now, either she's speaking to the prophets and the Savior and God himself, or she's speaking to a bunch of liberal Christian local leaders who are self-appointed leaders of the religion. Are you kidding me? Wow. Even the Pope. I'm Catholic. The Pope. The Pope is the Bishop of Rome. He obviously is the boss of our church on earth, but he is not the leader of our religion, Christianity, Catholicism. He's not the leader of he's the leader of the church on earth, but he is not the leader of the religion. Boy, she's pretty arrogant. Or she's in communication with all of the true religious leaders, God himself. I don't know. Which is it? Now, there's another purge going on of another group that liberals have been throwing parades for. Healthcare workers. There's a purge of our military going on, and there's now a purge of healthcare workers. We're hearing mostly from nurses, but there's a purge of healthcare workers who will not get vaccinated. Now, in this military purge and in the healthcare workers, how many of them have had COVID? I would imagine, especially with the healthcare workers, a lot of them. Probably also in the military. A lot of them have probably had it too. How many of these people that they're putting out of work have had COVID? And I thought that these healthcare workers were heroes that we were throwing parades for. What happened? Are they not heroes any longer? Why are you putting them out of work? This is more than just a purge. What we're seeing going on is a similar thing that is going on in the penal colony of Australia. Australia has been returned to penal colony status. Slurring my words there. I'm not intoxicated. I just slurred my words a little bit. That's all. It happens. They're not doing to us in this country what they're doing to the Australians yet.
And Margate, where they have all the major brands like Goodyear and Firestone at discount prices that absolutely can't be beat. Steve Kane tires for his Toyota van at the other shop.
And he came out and did a free roof inspection.